See what we got. Looking at monthly, right? We're below the balance, so meaning we're seeking new value, right? On the bigger time frame, this is developing, but it will be fairly important if they can reclaim. Man, I need loose in my life. Holy crap, I just can't see these numbers anymore. So this is developing. This is going to be a big level though, just because it's a high volume node. And you see them trying to reclaim this as well here. So let's put this.
Yeah, right now NQ is going to be hard to break here.
Yeah, is it struggling somewhere?
It's right at the high delta POC. Why is there feedback?
Not me.
Interesting.
Let's see.
All right, do you have your YouTube channel up in the background?
Me? No, I don't.
No, Rockets,
No,
because he's recording it. I think that might be where his echo comes from.
No. Maybe because I'm resharing. I don't know.
Could be. Yeah. Well, if it's bad, let me know. I'll server mute you.
Or just mute the stream, the Discord part in the bottom
okay.
right corner.
It's just when I talk, nobody else.
It just doesn't like you.
Nobody likes
So
me.
here's our current week developing. What is it today? Thursday?
Today's Wednesday.
Okay. What is that? So wow. So we're trying to reclaim the weeklies right here. So this is a no trade zone right here. So this is our no trade zone. And if we do come here, I'm expecting to have single prints here. Somewhere between here, I would expect that there's a lot of single prints on these candles. So if we can reclaim this, I would say, let them reclaim this level right here, this little node. Let them clear up this. I don't see anything stopping us from running all the way to the top here, guys. This is not a bad long for fixing. And then if they reclaim this zone here, we really need them to reclaim 94. And does everybody get why? Why is my bias above long here? Drew, don't answer. Anyone?
Is that the reclaim of the value low?
That would be the reclaim of, this is our previous week value area low. Remember we said if we lose 94, does anyone remember previous watch list? What did we say?
That you were going to test all the way down where it went pretty much.
Yeah. So the idea was if we lose 94, that we were most likely going to hit all the way to 44. And kind of that's, they hit, we missed by 3 points. So, or 2 points. So now if they're able to reclaim this, this is your level. I would not try to be a hero and play the 3-4 points here. Let them go up in here, right? Probably sweep this. And when they come back, I mean, you can take this for long and drive it all the way probably here, right? That's another 20 points. But right now, short-term play is here. You want them to reclaim this level right here, which is the long bias here. And then the first long is here. Sorry, that's confusing. I lost my level. So I would say somewhere, what is this? It's this node here that has it. And this is where the bearish order came in last time. So 44.70. I can't see, man. I don't know. Is there a way to make this bigger, TJ? These letters here? What's going on? I feel like it's smaller for some. Oh, my kid was here. Oh, I see what's going on, man. This is much better. I see something's off. I think my kid was playing here. All right. Does that make sense? We want this right here. This is your scenario 1. We want this one. And I'll probably do something like this here. If you can get, 273 is okay. Definitely would not hold it up to here, but that's the idea, right? That we'll go and tap this and potentially sweep it on both sides. So that's one. And then of course above For right now, I don't know how delta, the delta and stuff is here, but the idea is potentially if they show any weakness, if they take out this low here at 66, that they're gonna go lower, and I would not be shocked if they, dump a little bit more than what we did today, because we have, does anyone recall 44.20 at all? 44.24, anyone going once?
Yeah.
And the 44.27 is August val.
That's correct. Yeah.
Of a-
August value low. He's
That's
26.
correct. That's correct. So now here also I would consider this to be what? Yeah, weekly VPOC. I'm just marking now levels. What are the next levels of targets that I have, right? So you have this guy right here sitting, right?
I've got
Watch.
a VPOC at 44.41.
This is a weekly VPOC. You might have a daily on.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a weekly VPOC. And then you see here now, that's your week. So, I mean, if they can't hold this, then the idea is that they're going to come and fill this 40.24. And if you switch this to the monthlies, right, we'll do that real quick. Somebody brought it up on the monthly August. So here's your August value area low. And what does the rule of reversion to the mean and opposite say? Most likely you're going to hit this level here. So let me change this to PVP weekly so you can see it. And you see here, it's this week's value area high. Remember this node on this setup here? Maybe you guys don't. This was a double distribution node that we said if you reclaim this, you go here, reclaim that, then you're going to target and potentially pop. And that's exactly what happened. So now, and you see where they bounced here, right? 44.62. If you're able to get back in here, so think about this. If you're breaking this level here, where's your next value that you're targeting? What's the next level you would target? I'm on weeklies, right? These are weeklies. Let me remove that. If you break this value area high, what would you target?
The POC.
Okay, first level. What's your target? Anyone else?
You got a high volume node. Yeah, right there.
It's this one because that's the week after that had a value shifted lower. And from here, you confirmed that there was buyers on the short intermediate, right? Test, and then you popped. So now you got to come back here. 44.25, and I know there's a little zone around it, right? 25, 26. They have to test this here. And the reason why they have to test it is two ways, right? One is it's a weekly value area high. It was the node where the explosion happened as well. You see the imbalance and then imbalance down, reclaimed, and then we made higher highs. So this is where it changed character from that level right here. So now if it can, I don't know what I just did.
It's
If
also
this
the
can-
August value low.
That's correct. Yeah, it's a PV POC. I would say PV value area high. When I say previous, it's a little bit 2 weeks back, but it's also August value area low. So this would be a big level for a potential bounce. Many people would probably be looking for this, and yeah, of course, if 25 is lost, this magnet here is going to pull. There's a high chance you're going to hit this once 25 is lost. But as you're approaching this, don't be so heavy into the puts. Right, you're looking for a potential bounce here. And if you look at this bigger picture, right, I don't know if you guys recall, but we talked about that head and shoulders that was forming like right here, and then they kind of invalidated it with this push. What are the rules, right? I mean, if you go into the rules of this thing, is there any rules around these head and shoulders or not? But look at this now. Does it make sense why, at least this level is a little bit important?
Yep.
But do you guys recall 44.20, 44.25 at all from Watchlist prior?
Yeah.
Okay, let me remind you. Does that ring a bell? I'm pretty sure it was on a lot of levels here that we needed to, kind of figure that out. And also the June value, I think POC somewhere around here. We'll find it. So the old levels.
44.16.
Yeah, I think I had 19 at some point. I don't know why I have 19 in my head. Yeah, it's right here. So yeah, you're right, 16 and a half. So I mean, that zone is stacked, guys. So think about it. You have a June POC here. You have August area low, and then you have a consolidation that starts from June 9th all the way to here POC. Ask yourself, do you really want to short here? This is not a zone you want to be shorting. You let others short here. If you see that you know, and you need a trade or you need some money here, sure. If you break this, be careful, because as soon as they reclaim it, they fail below and reclaim, get out of the way. This is a stacked zone. My message to you is do not try to short this level here. From here to here, and you're closing your shorts. Okay. Is everybody clear on what the plan is? Is anyone like not clear? If you lose this, you can potentially go all the way to 447 here, right? And I haven't looked at the daily yet to tell you the full picture, but it should be, yeah, the POCs right here. I mean, so you have value area low at 44.56. Obviously, we had an expansion with the weird shape of a B profile, right? I don't think it's a. It seems like they shifted the POC more towards the middle, and I don't know how throughout the day shifted. Was it on the bottom and then shifted, or was it, you know, somewhere here and then shifted here and then they sold off, but we are back here now. Either way, the price is being broken out of what? On a daily profile. Was this our 4-day balance? 1, 2, 3, 4?
That's what it looks like, yeah.
So this was our 4-day balance, and we had the level 44.94 that we said once you break it and you go below it, the most likely you're gonna get a little dump. And look what happened. They broke it, and what they give you? They gave you a nice clearance. They sold off from there, right, all the way down, and now we're back at the POC, right? So if they're not able to push above this zone, ideally tomorrow for short, if you want to be aggressive short, let them go above and then fail. Let them fail PE, POC, and that's going to be a pretty good setup. You know, you could catch it 7 points here, but I would think that they're going to sweep the lows here on the bottom. So this is your. It will most likely come back, sweep this, because now the structure is fairly high. You have here and here the structure. I mean, that's about exactly 100 points between this and this. Okay. Is there anyone not clear on the path and the plan for tomorrow?
Shorty, I just had a question about the bounce that we had today from that area, from that like a run up node from a while ago. Would you still be looking possibly to take a long around around 42 around that area, or
No,
not
that's
so much
fired.
anymore?
That's fired away, man. I'm done with that one.
Okay, so you wouldn't be looking to play that anymore. Okay.
Nope.
All right.
I like to play these, and I don't know if it wasn't clear. Maybe it's not. Maybe the way I said it. But here, take a look at this. You see the node, right? I mean, we are aware of this. You know, some of you guys posted really good charts as well. But there was a lot of skinny belly. You remember this? The more imbalanced, meaning going from a sideways consolidation, right, like this one, and the higher the steep angle on up, the more likely that there's a lot of single prints, meaning there's a lot of, you know, skinny belly area that's going to be there. And I mean, you did, let's call it, you know, 44.10 to 45.08. Why did we go up? Does anyone recall? You have no idea. It was just a technical squeeze, and they ran it. They caught a lot of people off guard, and they pumped it, and boom, they took off. So all of this had to be filled. Now that they corrected this, they filled it. Now they can chop here in between. They're going to fill this up with volume. So imagine you're hungry. Now you're coming. They can stay in this area for the remainder of this week. And what are a lot of people expecting? They're expecting, you know, crazy movements for the rest of it. I would say it can go to the top here and then probably go back to this range 441, where it would be the bottom. And what would happen if this happens? Just stay with me. If you go here, let's see, you go here, what would most people do at the top here? Let's say they break this, what do most people will do on momentum?
Retail go and jump in long.
And they're gonna hop in all the way long. And then if they need to fill this up with volume, they're gonna come back here and it's
They're
gonna
going to
go
trap
look like,
everybody, bounce it back and forth, kill
and
all
this
puts.
will be
and
the,
calls.
yep. And this will be the favorite one. You see the liquidity on the bottom and all those people that follow the lower lows, the higher highs, right? And I followed them as well, but I'm not type of trader that will hop in once this breaks to short it, right? Because if you short this and you're not aware of this level here, what do you think happens to you? You get the short on this right here. I would not short from 447 or whatever this level is from here to here. I would not short this.
But you wouldn't be looking to take a long there either.
No. How would I be looking? How does anyone know how would I take this long?
Go below, come back above.
Exactly. I want them to go below, clear up this liquidity, get these people into the puts. Once they're into the puts, they will do this, and that'll be the long. Right here is the long. Remember, their game is how do I catch you off sides? Meaning, how do you get into the wrong position while I make money off of you? On a larger scale, right? It's a market, right? It's a zero-sum game. So at the end, it's zero, but somebody carries a lot of positive, somebody carries, or a lot of people carry negative. Okay. So I would think that we're gonna stay here, 44.95, not call it this zone here. And then you have this zone, I would call this tiny little shelf here. You're very close to it. I don't know if I'm looking right or not, but here, I'll just do my best. It's something like this, at least to me. So let's see, if they break the zone, but I would not short it here. I mean, you guys are welcome to short it here. I would not be so confident shorting this here. It can happen quick. So if you're in a momentum trader, sure, you can catch this and it would be a nice drop. But I think they come here and they set up a trap, they clear the liquidity, and then they get a bounce and then they range here. Because that would mean, right, if they are to do that, that means we had a balance, we drop down, balance. So they're not aggressively dropping it. But if you think about this POC here and this value area low is at 4411. Eventually, they'll bring it back to this POC. There's a massive POC here, guys. So if you do something like this, whereas this 4406 matches that VPOC, this is a huge zone here as well. So it depends how you want to play it. But for me, preferably right now, if I can catch this short, look above, fail, short it, I'll take that. If you break 440, if you're super aggressive, can you catch 15 points? Yeah, 15 points is a lot of money. You can take that. But it's not my favorite dance to kind of go with, right? Because this is a decent shelf and depends with the footprints how aggressive they are. And after the session today, the regular session, I showed you guys the NQ is being bought up the whole time today. They're buying tech back up, and I have no idea why would somebody buy that back up. It's like the most overextended one. But you guys can figure out who's buying at the top and who's selling. So it's never the hedge funds buying the tops. Okay, so any questions on ES? Is everybody clear?
Yeah.
All right, perfect. I expect a lot of green tomorrow in the profit section then. Okay. We'll check the footprints, but I'm expecting that there's a lot of singles here somewhere. Probably right above this zone that we have. There's a single here. There's a single here. A high volume node. So if you're able to reclaim this value area high, 80, you're guaranteed almost 11 points on the upside. But as of right now, we're below POC and it's looking somewhat weak. Okay. Any particular tickers from anyone?
YouTube has a request for PFE.
As long as there's COVID, you should be good. So they're dropping it to buy it pretty much right now. Was there news on this stock today? Seems to have something going on here.
Yeah, there was vaccine news today.
I mean, they just broke a 3-month balance aggressively down. Yeah, really aggressive. So they're headed to 32, I'm sorry. Yeah, they're going 32. They're going to tap this line here, whatever that is right now when we draw. They're going to tap it perfectly here.
Hey, Doll.
Yeah.
Shorty thinks we're gonna tap 32 on Pfizer, okay?
We're going to tap it for sure. Tell her. There's your level right here. So they tapped this 34, but I think this is a potentially sell to buy more. Let's see. Yeah. On the bullish side, reclaiming, you know, if they reclaim this POC and hold, they're most likely gonna fill all of this very shortly here. Which is not a lot. I buy this stock for a long term, right? For me, I don't really look at it, but from a long term perspective, they pay dividends. I think this is not a bad zone to start averaging down. And this level here, 32.56, I think you guys should be aware of it. Yeah. And then you have 27 and 32. So I would watch this potential bounce here for even maybe a long swing, because I do think we're going to get a new COVID here very soon. Yeah, this looks, I mean, to me, this is where I buy shares, right? I don't care what news come out, I buy here. Their goal now is to manipulate me not to buy it. They don't like competition and buying. So I buy here. Same thing with Myrna, if you guys remember. We talked about this, right? This was the level where they won it and they bounced. Now they lost and look what happened. But look at the volume here. They sold. It's not really selling here. Small body, big volume, anomaly. And now look at the selling here. Not as aggressive here. So once they reclaim this level, they're going to like 140. So playing something crazy on Myrna, I don't know how expensive the contract's on it. I haven't played in a long time. But maybe having some kind of debit spread on this is not a bad idea for, I would target March on this, and they play 140s on this or even 150s. I think they could pay nicely. This one is not bad setup here. I still have Oxy shares. I do not like the close here. I mean, I don't know if you guys saw, but I'm not a big fan of candles like this. Right at the resistance, right? This was the target. I mean, I have it somewhere here, but we need to break 67. And when you guys look at crude, you guys see why we are rejecting here? Is it clear to everyone?
High volume node.
Yeah. So, and I mean, this happens a lot, guys. Look, we popped, and what did they do? They came back right to it, right? Almost tested the breakout here, and we are here now. So if crude is going down, just look at the relationship, you know, that it has with the stock market. And then if you look at DXY, this was the change of character, right? A big change of character now. And if you look at the supply right here, right? Just take a look at the supply that we have right now. This is a massive, massive supply here that they have. So if you notice, if somebody's selling this by any chance, and I don't know if it'll print volume profile on it, probably not. If they're not able to clean this up here, shortly, then I would expect a bounce in the market again. Because for me here, I would say somewhere around here. This is the level I'll be watching here. See what happens, right? So it has a little bit more space to go. Once this level is tapped, I would be kind of interested to see what happens. There's two things, right? That they can break, seek acceptance higher, and that would mean the stock market's dying. Or, do we come here? We already tested this with aggressive, bearish engulfing. And then if they fail here, they would go as something like if it's a strong high or weak high, depends. And they could do this and then, go back all the way down. But this is an important level for them. Fairly important. So yeah, 107 would be the best target, but let's see if they get there. If they get to 107, that means SPY is probably going to go to 410.
Good drop so far on NQ, right at 390, where I was saying we were struggling.
We dumped?
I mean, not dump, but it's more than 10 points.
Oh, dude, that's beautiful. Fuck that, that's gorgeous.
Yeah, right at 390 was the Delta POC.
Yeah, look where we rejected here. Well, you're going to 50 very shortly. Once you clean this up right here, you're going to go 50.
Yeah, we have a completed auction at 92-ish, 99, something like that.
This one here should be complete.
That's the one that's complete.
Yeah. Yeah, this looks ready to go. I mean, there's a little cluster here that they're going to try to defend right now, but you see it right here. They're trying to defend this right now, but they're below it. I think they're headed right now here, guys. They're going to dump here, probably 23 points maybe.
Yep.
Okay, well, now, fuck it. Let me just take a little trade. Let me see how this plays out. It's too late now, but. Yeah, we need to lose 70 for me to catch. I would probably go 70 to 64 for sure, 6 points, but there's a high chance we can dump here right now. There's some single prints here.
Yeah, right now there's a completed auction at the bottom.
Do you guys remember this level if you stayed after hours today? Did anyone stay after hours when I explained what was happening today?
There's a completed auction on 5 minute.
We said, what do we say about this zone? Does anyone recall? You guys remember this? Anyone? Was anyone on after? I know some of you guys were on. There's a lot of people on. Let me explain what we covered. Do you guys see what this zone is that I marked?
I wasn't around after hours, so you could explain it for me and anybody else who forgot.
Yeah, don't worry. So look at this buying, right? I mean, you have, I would say you have a decent balance, right? You have a lot of consolidation here. And then look at this balance making higher highs, right? Clearing this stop here, clearing this value area high. Look at the candle, look at the delta. I don't know if you guys can see it, right? About 8,000 positive, really P-shaped profile here, right? So if you think about this, it looks this, and then, it looks on the bottom right here, right? So that's bullish. And then they continued, then it went up. And now, go remove this. Now, if you think about this, right, if you're able to hold this POC here from the bullish, and we are coming right to it right now, if you're able to hold this and you bounce from here, and especially if you're able to clear this POC, which is closest about what, 87, a little bit less, 86. You're gonna fill a lot of void here that you have left. And you see here on profile, when I zoom out, you know, you have an accumulation here, which was distribution, push down, explored. But now we haven't really broken it. And does anyone see anything weird with this? Between here and here, what's the anomaly?
I'm sorry,
There's a
between
lot of
where and where?
volume.
Between this and here, there's one particular anomaly that's a little off.
Like volume. Right?
Tell me more.
Like the left side one has a lot more volume than the right side one. The right side one just shot through it. This one, it seems like it had a lot more trading going on the way up.
What about this red candle and the delta? You have a biggest red candle we've had in a
Green
while.
delta.
What is it?
Yeah, I was noticing
So,
that.
are we really selling off?
Oh, I see.
So that tells me there's a high chance that this POC that you have here on the explosion most likely is going to hold. And that we're going to consolidate here somewhere, probably up till, 432. And you see here, just pay attention to this line where I'm going to draw right now. This is the value area high of this candle, value area low of this candle, value area high of this candle. So you're telling me, look at this zone here that they have. Just trying to draw this. Because if you're able to break this, you're going to test these highs here, probably somewhere around here. I'm sure there's some kind of sales that triggered at some point, depending on what I have. Hey guys, sorry, my batteries died on the headset. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry. Yeah, but that's the main reason that I said there's a high chance for a bounce. Unless they gap this tonight, there's a high chance that we're gonna kind of bounce right at that POC that we are sitting in right there. So if we crack through this, then we're probably gonna continue down. I wouldn't be shocked if we even test 320. But as of right now, I think that's a bounce level. And then if you go in 30 minutes, we already bounced from it. We already hit about 6-7 points on it. And now if you look at just this, and I think Drew was talking about this one right here that was completed. And this one is completed. So on this one here, you have a nice delta positive followed by negative delta. And then all of these are just compressions, right? And now you're seeing really the importance is right here. If we crack to this, you're going to hit what? Drew, don't answer. It's fairly obvious. Anyone else got it?
Like around 65, that POC just below that one right there.
You have this one, but this one carries, I would say, not as important. Where did that explosion happen, and where did we come back?
$50 range. 350.
Exactly. Now watch the POCs of this area here. Let's just zoom in right here. Let's just put a level here. 50, right? And we said on this one, once you lose about 70, you start with a single prints down. Is that correct? Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah.
And then if you look at this, I grabbed from the bottom to the top. Well, let's look where the POC is. 53. So once you lose that 70, right, which is, I think, like right here where it starts, this one is 68.5. You can catch this probably 15 points easy.
Looks like a big seller just came in at 380.
Was it you, maybe?
Yeah.
I mean, there's a nice stack of POCs here right now.
Yeah.
On this candle, this is a pretty high, I would say, volume on this one, and the delta is negative 226. That's pretty intense sell-off. Just takes forever to load this crap. Yeah, but I would definitely watch this level here. Okay. All right, well, I would watch this potentially all the way to 54. That would be my exit if I was to play that. And for a lot of people that, you know, if you're using whatever those funded accounts are, you guys have to start treating as your own money, because I'm sure you have to pay a fine or a fee for buying more accounts. Not like they give you one for, you know, 10 million accounts for one fee, right? Every time you lose it, you'll have to buy it. The more you buy, the more you spend. I mean, you might as well fund yourself. You have to start treating it. And if you guys looked at KSN, you know, I mean, he's very humble. And if you look at his trading, he posts every day $100 and he turns off that account. And did you guys see that he passed today?
Yep. Congrats.
I mean, just little by little. And a lot of you guys want to do it in a single shot. And it's like, okay, well, you can't get this in single shot, right? I mean, trading is not single shot. You need multiple trades in order to succeed, right? I posted you guys that this morning I had really like technical issue with Quant Tower, and I was down almost $4,600 the beginning of the day. And then little by little, I was just fighting to see if I can get my money back. And it worked out. But I posted the gross P&L not to, oh my God, I made money. But did anyone notice what was my average win per trade? It was
No, I didn't see
$350. $350 per trade. So I wasn't going like, oh my God, I'm gonna make 15 grand on this trade, right? It was just, I see a setup that I like and I take it. And if I can do that 10 times a day at $300, which is a lot of trades, but that's 3 grand. Do I let some trades run? Of course, right? If I size down and I'm not putting a lot of capital into the trade, you know, I had a couple of them hit 650, but then if I see the trade's not going immediately the way I want it, I move my trailing immediately. Because if I see a big level and we're not getting a bounce, like let's say right now, you know, if I get long in here, I'll just go long here. I just went long here. And if I see, for instance, that they're going to break this level, I'm watching the tape, I'm watching the footprints. I'm seeing here. So now I'm seeing on the ask, you know, the value area low is a little bit higher than it is on here. So, and where did the passive buyers show up? And guess what? I just made $50. Well, I was in the trade maybe, what, 14 seconds. How many of you make $50 in 10 seconds?
Yeah,
Anyone?
option down there.
Guys, clicking and making $100, it's okay. Until you do some hard labor, you won't appreciate this kind of money, bud. And until you can appreciate the small money, you will not appreciate the big money either. A lot of people see people make a lot of money and they want to do it immediately, which, you know, I prefer, you know, I even talk to you guys like post your percentages. You don't need to show the dollars. It's more about the consistency. If you can hit on the futures, I would say you can make $300 on futures in a day, every day. I just don't know the people. Is there days that I would struggle doing it? Of course. There's not a trader out there that gets every fucking green day. Can you be on a hot streak and run some? Yeah. I mean, sometimes it feels like, you know, if you've been profitable, whatever you do is right. And then there's days that you're going to run and everything feels like you're doing it wrong. You go long and it goes down. You go short and it goes up. Every one of us has had it. Recently, now, anytime you've had it. If you say you haven't, man, you're full of shit. It's impossible. Because it's about managing the risk. It's not really about managing the profit. Okay. So size down if you're struggling. If you're really just trading futures, and we're gonna hit 80 right now here shortly. If you're really struggling, size down. I'm telling you, just go. You know, if you're used to trading NQ and you like the activity and the price action that it delivers, right? I mean, just go MNQ and trade 3 MNQs. I don't know if you guys recall, but 2 weeks back, maybe even 3, I did something on purpose. Did you guys notice me trading MNQ and posting $70, $50, $60 profits? Did anyone pay attention to it?
Yeah, I remember.
And at the end of the day, I was up almost $500. And that's just trade. I was trading 1 MNQ, 1 MES. And, you know, when you have, depends on your size of your account, but managing that for me was, man, I had to lose a shitload of points for me to blink. And when you're in that situation, it might comes in a lot easier, I guess, to trade than it is when you oversize and each tick gives you a heart attack. That's a big problem, right? When you get in the trade and the high probable trade, it should be, let me get in, watch 380 on that NQ here. Just FYI, it might sell off from there. Unless they run a short stop right now or long stop. Let's see what they're, I think they're going to run the stop here.
Yeah, I just went short here. Maybe
Yeah, I'm
I'll
watching
stop
to
and
see. Yeah. The tape went silent. Tape went really silent. That's the weird part. Usually they run the stop runs there. I hope you get it because you got to crack 78 here. But hopefully it helps you guys. I mean, and this is a marathon. You guys are not going to experience, you know, net worth change by trading in a month. If you think you are, then, you know, your expectations and reality are disconnected a little bit. And until you start accepting smaller wins, and you can ask anyone. I can ask Drew how he makes money. I mean, he makes, I don't know, he takes, how many trades do you take? And you look for $100, $200?
I generally shoot for about 400 per trade, 200 per trade, depending.
How much did you shoot when you met me?
Oh gosh, $50.
How long did it take you to go from 50 to 200?
Like a year.
A year.
Yeah.
A lot of you want to go from 50 to 200 overnight. It takes time. It takes a lot of discipline. It takes a lot of tuition. It takes of, you don't not necessarily have to be the best market, you know, technical person like technician, but you do have to compensate your lack of technical with risk. Where people fail is when you are too risk averse, where you don't let your runners make any money and you get stopped out on pretty much every trade, and then you explode, but you explode at the wrong time and your account explodes as well. So size down. If you're not confident in a trade, size down. Like I just took 1 NQ here, $80 while we were on a call here, and I closed it right here. It was fairly obvious why I closed it there, because there was a big seller after, well, I call this after hours. This is a decent sized seller. There's an aggressive seller sitting here. If you're able to take this guy on the stop, you see the stop run? They just hit the people with a stop run here. Yeah.
Yeah, I think one of the keys to, I mean, you talked about patience and discipline, and something I don't think we talk about enough is like just doing the one trade a day for like 6 months. That will help you with your discipline and patience.
I totally agree. And a lot of people that I do one-on-ones with, right? And if you guys know, if you're in a Discord, I do give you free one-on-ones with me. I don't cap that. I don't put the limit. Some of you guys on the call you spend more time with me than some of my family. And I don't mind it as long as I see that you guys are putting the effort, guys. I really don't. There are some people, on this call that I know for a fact struggled, and then eventually they came to their senses and they're profitable. And I'm not taking the credit. It's not me. I provide you the technical knowledge, the understanding of volume, the understanding of values, right? Footprints or whatnot. But once you're connected within yourself and what you want, and you really find the identity of who you are and who you want to be, that's when it's going to click. A lot of people, for instance, Nasty today, he wrote that, his thing changed so much. He just looks for one trade still. We did the 60 days of single trade for him, 2 months back, actually, not more. This is September. In May, it was the first time that he experienced 3 weeks of green. Back to back to back to green. If you think that's easy, then fucking go do it. To be back to back green on 3 weeks, it's a big deal. To be a month, it's a big deal. Anyone can hit 5 trades in a row and be green. I promise. Even if you randomly go long and short 10 times, you'll be right 5. But how you manage those trades and the risk is the problem.
Shorty, can you mark it like 10 short on NQ right now, please?
No. Hell no, not here. They're going to run up stop losses again.
5 order just came in.
I see it. I see 1. I didn't see 5 here. Oh, I see something. They're not, their volume shit. But hey, I made enough for Starbucks tomorrow. All right, guys. Well, go ahead, Alan.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask you. Earlier in the Discord, you had posted a short on ES. That you're looking at. I think you were looking at a 30-minute time frame on footprint charts.
That's
trying to
correct.
find the level that you shorted.
Yep.
But yeah, you were looking at it on 30 minutes. Yeah, if you could just explain that.
Yep. That was actually, it's right here. So if you look at this trade, let's see. Let me make sure my settings are right. There it goes. This is exactly what I was looking for. All right, pay attention to what's happening here, right? So you have, obviously a sell-off. You have a seller's imbalance sitting here, and I'll make sure you guys are aware of this imbalance, because this level matches to what I told you where most likely we're going to go to tomorrow if we break 73.5. You guys remember that? You guys need to start remembering some fucking levels, like top of your head. Let's see. Watch, and I'll explain why that level is important. Did we say 73.25? If that breaks, there's a high chance you're gonna hit this all the way to 91. I don't target this 91 because there's a lot of contention here, right? So if you go here, you see that most likely 88.25 would be the ideal level. And if you go here, where's the imbalance? 88.5. Aggressive sellers stepped in here, right? They started this whole selling from here. Then you had these buyers, and look what happened here. A guy said, okay, sure, let me take your money. They tried to, buy some, and then he got destroyed. And then look what happened the rest of the day, right? So if you look at this at 10 a.m., I saw this, and I'm like, okay, well, they tried to peak above. And remember those secret demands and secret supplies? This is called secret supply. They pushed up, and look at this guy. What did he do? This guy was bidding aggressively here, would you guys say? I mean, 2,500, 778. That's a pretty good, right? That's about 4 to 1. And then you have this one. Look what he did to this poor guy here. He went up and then he destroyed him. I mean, 56 to 1,800 is pretty good. And as soon as this level is coming, what do you expect this guy to defend here? You have him here sitting. He, basically trapped this buyer here. And now pay attention to what happens. As soon as we came here, and just go back on time, when I said I'm short here, this is what happened. They went from here and they dumped it to here. And I was only too short on ES. It was about $700 on this or something like that. I don't know, 650. But that was the idea. And then look above again. I mean, just pay attention where we are now. Let me extend this guy. Have you killed that seller yet?
No.
Okay, let me draw a line above that seller. You tell me the level. What level is that?
73.
What level is that? The match?
Yep, same one.
All right. Guys, have a good night. That's your level for long. You're going to get about 14 points on this. Just relax. We'll be good tomorrow. Does that make sense, Silent?
So basically, you had an aggressive seller come in, then it started reversing on him, and then he probably added to his position again, dumping it below where he entered originally, and then he pretty much kept it below the whole time.
Remember, you're a peanut butter seller guy. You sold a lot of peanut butter, 70. Somebody is willing to offer you 73. What are you going to do?
Remove your order and try to sell higher again, or just try to sell higher.
You're going to try to sell in larger quantity, and look what happened. Let me just give you guys something to think about while I'm here. Let's enable this. Do you guys see the delta here? Below this level, do you guys see this? This is a double stacked node here, right? You guys see this? Isn't this what we talk about? I guess Drew loves this setup right here, right, Drew? Two stacked HVNs, right? POCs right next to each other and a fall.
Yep.
Do you guys understand what's the dollar amount behind this? Does anyone have an idea what this is?
Millions.
I don't think you guys understand. Is there anyone know how to calculate this?
No.
Is it 8,000 times 4,000?
You will take 8,027 times what is the level? 4465. But is that right?
39 million.
How much is each point? How much is each tick? Guys, how much is each tick in ES?
$1?
On a mini, it's 50.
$100.
Guys, 8827, right? Is the contracts, and each one is 50. So think about each tick is $50. The notional of this would be $1.6 billion. So somebody went at the bid $1.6 billion.
That's a big boy.
Wow.
You don't sell that if you don't have some
The whole warehouse.
So 1.97 million total. You dropped $1.97 billion at the bid. Be aware of this guy tomorrow. Because once this guy, and you see them, you think they're above his level where he's worried? Not really. He's sleeping tight tonight. Look at these. I mean, look at the lines here. I mean, there's a lot. And look at this notional here. I mean, we knew about this one. I don't know if you guys remember. I did 4507 and a quarter. I don't know if you guys recall that, but I was very familiar with that level. What's funny is this one here. Does anyone know why this one's funny? Why is this one here interesting on the green side?
Oh, that's previously.
Because it didn't go up?
So there's a lot of buyers that ask, well, what did the price do?
It went down. It's like they tried to buy it, but they couldn't hold it.
It was a trap. And did anyone know about the 94 level?
Well, 93 is previous week value area low, so maybe they tried to buy it there and they couldn't hold.
You did.
Let's take a look at the notes real quick. You don't need a lot, guys. You just have to trust your plan, I promise. Things line up when you build confidence in yourself. Once they dumped this, I mean, once you lost 94, that was it. This compression here was bullshit. I mean, I don't care about those. And I don't care about this one. Tomorrow, once you lose the 64, you really have the next set of buyers, you know, you have some 54, but the big boys are, look at the big boys here. So you have a big boy 44.10 and 44.23. Does 23 ring a bell? Nobody?
Well, it's kind of a long time ago.
44.23.
I can barely get to my mic fast enough.
That was that value area high, that weekly value area high that you were talking about, right?
I just said, do not short this. You don't want to be shorting here too much. August value area low, previous week value area high. From June to now, right? This is a pretty big POC here, guys. Like I'll be, you know, careful shorting this too much here. Look at this POC, guys. This is a giant POC here. You let others short there.
That's what she said.
Yeah. We have some perverted people. We need to find him a woman. I think Drew can hook you up. He has specials.
Only one.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, hopefully, you know, it makes sense. At least I'm giving you a brain dump, kind of how it works in my head. So you guys can at least see it. But Island Boy, I hope that makes sense why I did that today on the 30 minutes.
Yeah, I guess I'll just have to study it a bit more.
Well, I'm looking for aggressive sellers. I want to know when they get in. And at the same time here, do you guys, okay, well, I can look for the Discord. I posted that there was a huge seller that came in on here. It was like 200 order right here sitting. I mean, look at the size of imbalance here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he just started selling here and he was not allowing much, you know, auction to go higher. If you guys go back to the notes, 71.25 was my stop loss here. So I was not giving them much and they were not willing to bid higher. So we just needed somebody to, you know, explore a little bit higher. But this guy was pretty adamant that, you know, no, he just kept selling. Sold here, sold back. You went above and look at the volumes. Are you telling me if we break this after hours here that we're not going to dump there again tomorrow? So if we fill that void all the way up to here to the imbalance, is it possible that we slice through this? Of course, yeah. How much sell the peanut butter here than here? And if you can find idiots to drive this price up here, that's great. Okay. All right, guys. Well, have a good night. I will see you guys tomorrow.
All right, thanks, Shorty.
Thank you, Shorty.
Thank you, Shorty. Thank you.